Guys, welcome back. It is week 2 and we are talking all things nutrition. So this is usually the hardest part for all of us. I feel like eating better or paying attention to calories is so difficult, and so we really need to rely on God. I think that there's so many diets out there. There's so many programs and meal replacement shakes and this and that and the other, but I think really asking God for self-discipline, for wisdom, just on what to eat, how to eat, is something that's so necessary when we're deciding to focus on our nutrition and trying to lose weight. Number one question I get asked, like, what did you eat? Everyone just, I don't know, that's like number one. So I am going to share that, but to be totally transparent, the foundation that we worked on last week and that we're still working on this week is the reason. As God begins to work on your character and begin to show you areas in which you can work on, and begin to make you just more self-aware about how you're just moving through life, making better nutrition choices was easier. Waking up and doing my Bible study, reading my devotional, and really putting God first just set the stage for my day, and just asking the Holy Spirit to like flow through me, be with me, right? To be my helper, really made all of the difference. Most people are like so kind of annoyed because I'm like, oh, it was so easy. Like, it didn't feel like I was dieting. It didn't. It didn't. I never cut out any foods. I still ate very similar, paid attention to just portions, but I'm going to get into all the details on that. But I really hope that you were able to focus on the foundation last week and really just like continue with that. That is the key to it all, is the foundation, because when you're rooted in the right things, you are able to tackle anything. Although nutrition is the hardest thing for most people, I think you're going to see this week that with God, it just doesn't even feel like that no more. All right, let's get into it. First things first, if you're breastfeeding, go talk to your doctor. I was breastfeeding when I started, but my daughter was starting to wean, so she wasn't eating as much. She was probably eating 3 times a day versus like all through the day, because she was eating a lot more whole foods or regular foods. So yes, if you're still breastfeeding, I don't know, sis. If you're not, then these things may help you. I have like my notebook here so I don't ramble. Things first is I started intermittent fasting. I've never been a breakfast person, so intermittent fasting was and has always been really easy for me. To skip breakfast, easy. I don't want it anyway. And so that was one way that really helped me to start to lose the weight. I like to eat big meals, and so when you're fasting, like, you skip meals, so the 2 other meals that I ate get to be pretty big. And so that was just something I really enjoyed, and was really helpful. There's many other benefits to fasting, and you can look all that up, but I just did it purely because it just fit my schedule. Next is calorie awareness. So in week 1, we logged our calories. We got a baseline, right? From that baseline, we now are dropping 200 calories this week. I would say between 200 to 400 calories this week. Y'all choose, but between there. During that time when I was logging my food daily, I started to, you start to see patterns. Like, oh, my coffee is always 300 calories. Oh, my Chick-fil-A order that I love, or my Chipotle order, or whatever it is always this many calories, right? And so it just gets logged in your head. So after about a month, I stopped calorie counting in the MyFitnessPal app. But I always kind of knew where I was because I had done it for so long, and was just aware. I knew I never wanted to live my life just like looking at calories and checking this and checking that. So I just use it as a guideline. I just like, okay, I know if I had this, it's this many, and my goal is this. So just keeping those things in perspective throughout your day, but not letting it become like some hyper obsessive thing you do all the time. Please don't let it get to that, because that's not living. So then the next thing that I did would be to always keep the things that you love. So if you love your coffee, don't cut your coffee. I mean, you're not going to stick to it. If you love, I don't know, if you have something that you truly do enjoy eating every week or whatever, like, keep it in your diet. Keep it, make room for it, because this is going to help you just continue to stay on track and not feel that you're totally missing out all the time or you're super deprived. Maybe you can still keep all of it, like eat that whole meal, or maybe you can have a portion of it. A lot of places that we would eat, I would maybe do like a kid's meal, or I would cut out something. So maybe I wouldn't get the fries with, you know what I mean, the meal that I typically got, or maybe I would not get the shake when we went to In-N-Out. Whatever it was, I started drinking like diet soda, you know, when I want soda. So you just got to figure out your rhythm with it. Give yourself time and grace as you do that. Number one for me is portion control. I think I've already talked about it a few times in this video. You can still eat everything, just a smaller portion. That works better for me than changing the entire meal. For one, I'm a busy mom, I'm a wife. So for me, my husband is not gonna eat like traditional, you know what I mean? Like, oh, I'm eating healthy now, like food. Like, he's not gonna do it. That would make me have to then make 2 meals, and I'm not doing that. I'm busy, okay? I'm not doing that. So for me, it was like, okay, let me make what my family enjoys, and then I can just control my portion. And that's helped and made it really easy for me. I still, you know, we all eat together. It's not like, you know, my husband's eating, you know, pasta and I'm over here like my grilled chicken and veggies every night. No, like we eat the same meals. So it's helped. And that's really important when you're losing weight. Like, you never want to feel like you're just constantly, like, you're not an outcast, but you know what I mean? Like, you're just always on this diet stuff and the rest of your family is, you know, together. So anyway, that's number one, just portion control. And so those are really the things that I did. Nothing crazy, nothing innovative, no secrets. That's just it. And so as you start this week, right? So now that you're dropping 200 to 400 calories, you'll get to experience kind of what I just talked about, just figuring out your rhythm, figuring out how you're going to do it, figuring out how your meals fit in. And don't be afraid if you know, go over your calories. That's part of the learning curve. Like, you have to learn, you know? And so if you go over one day, don't be like, who cares? Tomorrow, just do better. Be aware. If I knew I was going to be maybe going out to eat, or, you know, I don't know, like was gonna eat something a little bit heavier at dinner, I would just pay attention at lunch. So maybe at lunch I ate lighter because I knew my dinner was gonna be heavier. But those are things that you learn as you go. So just be fine with being a beginner and learning. Ladies, that's really it. That's really all I did. And so this week I'm super excited for you guys to get to experience this for yourselves, get to go on, start your own journey, and, you know, having that foundation of God, continuing that foundation this week, and really praying and leaning in and trusting God for the nutrition part. Because once you get the nutrition, it's everything else. Like, you know, they always say 80-20, like 80% nutrition, 20% working out. So you're getting like, this is the hard part right here. So once we get through this week, the next week we'll get into workouts and then implementing workouts versus just walks. And then the plan will be over. But I'll have another plan coming out, Sculpt, that I will talk about in a later video. But I thank you ladies for doing this guide, for trusting me as you go on this journey with God. And I love you guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.